up in Christianity was very different than how other religions impact kids. Another thing that I learned that was a positive part of religion was being detail-oriented. When you're religious, at least my form of religion, Southern Baptist, you're taught to notice the details, and I guess the devil's in the details, literally. So I go through life concerned about the small details, because I do believe your life is either going to be good or bad based on the effort you put in to whatever it is you're dealing with. I choose to live a life where I choose where I live, I choose to be single, I choose to be child-free. I've tried living with pets, it doesn't work for me. So I live my authentic life. And yeah, it might make straight people scream. It might cause straight people to shame me for not having kids. But my therapist always told me, you're more than your reproductive organs, you're more than your sexuality, you're more than your interests. I mean, you're a human being who matters. And I've always found that there's something special in the very small details. And I focus on the major parts of my life, but I never forget the small things. The best things in life are free. And I don't want to waste a moment of living life concerned about how some God views me or how I view myself. And I just want to live life where I'm happy. I take notice of the small things, the insignificant things, because I want to live life on my terms. I always try to do 2 things a day that I really enjoy doing. And if every day is an adventure. And I'm someone who has a lot of chronic depression. So I try to do 2 things a day that I really like to do. Give myself an incentive to get out of bed, to enjoy the life I have. I may not feel it every day. I may not want to get out of bed and have this life, but I do it anyway. Because sometimes it can just be a hormonal thing, but it can also be just going through life. You know, I don't feel like feeding myself every day. I don't feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like taking a shower or going shopping. But I still do it because it's just something I have to do. Now, I don't force myself to do something every single time. Sometimes I do take a mental health day and just coast. And that's okay. Sometimes I do have to force myself to do things I don't want to do, because if we only did stuff when we wanted to do it, we would be living out of our car. And the thing about being an adult is realizing there are some things you hate, you can't change, things that you can change, things you have to endure, and things you just have to do because you want to have a roof over your head. And sometimes you have to focus on the small things, like having good health, having a sense of humor, having a high-paying job with no college education. I mean, I make over $25 an hour, and I haven't been to school. Running my own business, being a licensed therapist, I make a lot of money. I make more money an hour than someone with an associate's degree and maybe a college degree would get. And it's taken me 15 years to do it, but I just like living my life the way I want to live it. And I'm not a control freak, I'm not a workaholic, but I've learned that a lot of little things add up into a very happy life. Not always. And sometimes you have to make mistakes to find what you really enjoy. And for the most part, I've found that I like being single and child-free. I like to travel. I just like to focus on things that interest me. And instead of putting my passion and pursuit into having a family, I put it into travel, YouTube content, interests, things like that. And I'll leave everyone with how I live my life. Everyone can have an opinion, but I don't care what people think of how I live. And that's one of the best ways to grow into yourself. Stop caring what people think. Stop caring when they criticize. But if they tell you something that could make you a better version of yourself, do some internal reflection. Because even the dumbest, most insecure people might be right twice a day. It's kind of like a clock. And I've learned the only person you need to try and please is yourself. Or your cat. And I just love the details of my life. And if I get sick of something, I can change whatever I want to change. And yeah, I might be 31. I might live my life differently than the majority of people on the planet. But I never have to worry about a nasty divorce, being unalived, being destitute. And every day I'm thankful for having a good life. My family may ghost me, and everybody else might sometimes make my life a living hell, but every day is an adventure, and I'm just happy to be along for the ride.